This is a 13 Wham News Special.
Would you still support the Democratic candidates and renounce your liberal nomination?
All is apparently as peaceful on the inside as it is on the outside. By mid-morning, the death toll from this overnight fire had climbed to at least 10.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Break.
A state of emergency has been declared in Monroe and most surrounding counties. It is Rochester's worst ice storm in 3 decades.
Wish everyone a very happy new year.
And here in the main cabin, the passengers will be able to look out the very front of the ship.
Whatever success I have is certainly with the support of all of those who I have worked with.
A tribute to Don Alhart, a Hall of Fame career.
How well I remember my childhood days in this store on Culver Road, where my dad and his brothers sold appliances. I worked in the service department repairing radios. I remember the day my dad brought home the first black and white TV to this house on Culver Parkway. Kate Smith, Pinky Lee, Howdy Doody. I was hooked. And I can remember my dad borrowing the auditorium in the church right next to his store to put the first RCA color television on stage, inviting the public in to see Peter Pan in living color on the stage at that church. I remember my first job right there on Humboldt Street at Channel 8, learning the ropes behind the scenes on this business. The year then was 1962. As I look back on over almost 5 decades in the broadcasting industry, I am still amazed by the electronic progress I see every day. When I started, we shot news on 16mm black and white Kodak film, processed it every afternoon, spliced and glued the scenes together to show viewers every night. The biggest change, of course, the transition to color film and broadcasting the news in color. We thought then it was the biggest change broadcasting would ever see. 1978 was the year for transition to video. How well I remember the tragic Holiday Inn fire in Greece that year, one of the first stories we put on the air using this new video technology. Cameras changed over the years. The videotape got smaller and smaller. Now it too is gone, replaced by a simple card just like the one in your digital camera. It holds all the scenes we need to record in a day. And with these new cameras, a new quality. The next transition, and perhaps the biggest, HD, high definition television. As revolutionary as the move from black and white to color, a whole new studio. New cameras, new monitors and desks. But like all the other changes I've witnessed in the last half century, while technology changes, the people remain and change with it. The high quality you've come to expect from 13 Wham News is still here, right along with the high definition. And that's what makes my Hall of Fame induction all the more special. I've survived the many changes in technology because of the support of those I work with every day. The ones responsible for that high quality. From shooting black and white film and waiting 2 hours for it to be processed, we can now respond to the scene of breaking news, record the video with an iPhone, and have it on the air within minutes. It's a whole new world, and I'm thrilled I can still be part of it.
What a ride on Wall Street.
Don Alhart has been at WHAM-TV for almost 50 years and is the most well-known and trusted news anchor in Rochester.
The financial troubles in Greece, investors worrying about that created. I think I've been very privileged to be able to grow with the business over the years. I can remember using this very Bolex camera. I'm grateful for those early days. I'm grateful for the discipline that it gave me at an early time.
After graduating from Ithaca College, where he first got his taste for news reporting and radio, Don began his career as a summer relief engineer at WROC, and in 1965 joined WOKR, now WHAM-TV, as a reporter and also hosted Morning Break. He has covered major events throughout his career, including the Attica prison uprising.
It is apparently as peaceful on the inside as it is on the outside.
Would you still support the Democratic candidates and renounce?
The first thing I've always thought about is the balance, because it's my job to present the story, to present both sides of a story and to present it fairly.
Don has been honored 5 times with the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Television News.
I've been blessed mostly with the people I work with. Our goal is to get a good newscast on the air, and we all do it together.
13 Wham News at 6 with Don Alhart.
Don is also known for his humanitarian efforts in the community and has been an active member of the Rotary Club for over 30 years. And from 1980 to 1990, he and his wife Mary hosted the annual Weekend with the Stars telethon for cerebral palsy, for which he received the Community Service Award.
I wish I could say more, but I know we're running late on time, and to be honest with you, I can't think of much more to say.
When you're able to touch lives like that, that makes this all worthwhile.
Don is proud of his series, Friday's Child, which highlighted children who were open for adoption.
Over the years, to know that a lot of children, hundreds of children, were placed in good homes because of those stories we did is amazing to me.
And he felt it was about time for some good news on television.
And I remember saying to one of the producers, just give me a minute to tell people something good that happened in the community today. Our Bright Spot shines on 40 years of beautiful music with the Grease Choral Society. When you shine the spotlight on someone else, the light that reflects off them is more than you need. I would never look back and say, I wish I had done something else. And to be able to say that, I think is probably one of the greatest gifts of all. It's the force that keeps me going. If I could be remembered as someone who touched the lives of others, I think that would probably be the best legacy I could think of.
Fast forward to Lake George on June 28, 2010. This is the award Don received from New York's Broadcasters Association for his distinguished career. This was Don's induction into the New York State Broadcasters Association's Hall of Fame before a gathering of the industry's elite. In accepting the honor, Don said he was humbled and thanked his wife Mary, his parents, his children, and grandchildren, and even his in-laws who once warned Mary not to trust the TV man.
Quickly, a station through 7 owners and bosses like our current GM, Chuck Samuels, who have allowed me to fulfill that passion. And of course, the countless co-workers over the years who have inspired me and encouraged me. No one can accept this honor alone and claim it. Whatever success I have is certainly with the support of all of those who I have worked with and allowed me to enjoy coming to work every single day for 44 years at the same station. I share this with all those who over 4 decades have learned to trust the TV man. Thank you.
All right, the TV man here with us now. Congratulations.
Thank
what
you.
an honor.
Yeah, as I was saying, I've got a lot of mileage out of that line, the TV man.
We trust the TV man.
You got to
We
trust
do.
him. You got to trust him. You know, my wife and I met at the Miss Rochester pageant years ago. So they were wondering, who's this guy, this TV guy? You know, what is he all about? But it was nice to be at the ceremony, to have the family there, to have my wife there, our 3 kids, the spouses and grandchildren. Really kind of brought it all together for me. It was a wonderful night.
You're a humble person, so this will probably be a tough question for you to answer, but this honor is about more than longevity. It's about the quality of your career. What do you take the greatest pride in as you look back on all your years before the camera?
You know, I think probably in being able to stay here and do what I did, because particularly in our era of broadcasting, success was always measured by moving up to another market, because you reach more people and you make more money and you're on the network and you're well known. To be able to stay here, to contribute to the community, and grow at a time when the station was growing, I think is probably the biggest part that I can remember as I look back on all of this.
We take a lot of strength in your leadership. What has been the biggest challenge for you as a leader at Channel 13?
I think probably the biggest challenge at times is to not try to impose what you are on someone else, and yet still try to guide them. People will come to me for advice, and I don't want to say, we write it like I write it, deliver it like I deliver it, right, do it like I do it, but to be able to encourage them to find their own way of doing it and to be able to help them along the way.
It's going to work better if it's theirs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a role model, and you've certainly been that for so many people.
And people always say he's exactly like he seems on the air, and I think that speaks to your success as well, because you're a very genuine person.
You talked about family, and they wanted to share some thoughts too.
Hey Dad, we just all wanted to congratulate you on being inducted to the New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame. What a great achievement and well deserved.
Congratulations, Dad. Thank you for showing us what it takes to be a true professional, and the importance of family and giving back to your community, and really loving your job and doing the wonderful job that you've done for the last 44 plus years.
And we're looking forward to spending that special night with you so that we can see in person. You get the recognition for all your years of hard work.
Congratulations!
Still ahead, Don's co-workers and friends share their favorite stories about him.
This is Don Alhart's office. When Don's at work, this door is always open. And this chair is usually filled with a coworker from the newsroom discussing something related to that day's news, or stealing a Tootsie Roll, or maybe talking about news from their own family, or hearing Don's latest joke. My conversation with Don Alhart actually began 33 years ago. I wrote him a letter telling him of my interest in broadcast news and requesting a visit to the station. And I still have the letter that Don wrote back to me. In it, he invited me down to the station. Even then, even for a high school kid he didn't know, Don's door was always open.
At night, when I'm stressed out or I'm not sure what to do about something, I go in Don's office and I say, Don, help me make this better, or Don, what can I do?
So I keep this little picture of Don Alhart on my monitor, and it's sort of my what would Don do picture. And I remember being so nervous the first night I was anchoring, because I was actually on the same set as Don Alhart, a man who I grew up with every night at 6 o'clock.
He comes in the door every day so upbeat that it rubs off on people and makes them ready to work. And to me, that is the definition of a leader.
You really set the standard down when it comes to how you treat other people in this newsroom. And I'll always appreciate that, and I'll never forget that.
I ended up watching you, Don. I just sort of wanted to pattern myself after that and ended up getting into the news. And next thing I know, I'm working here.
Even though I've been sitting next to him on the set all those years, I have learned more from Don away from the set. He has taught me how to act as a person, as a public person, whether that's emceeing an event or just talking to people in the community. Class all the way.
How comfortable he is with the desk and with his job and what he does, and making people at home comfortable and people he works with comfortable.
He actually introduced me on the air back in 1985. And one thing that we always remember about Don is that when you're working in front of the camera with him, he makes everybody better.
I remember 30 years ago when I walked into Channel 13 looking for a job. You gave me a chance that day, a college graduate with no experience, no money in her pocket, and a broken shoe. 30 years ago, the best 30 years of my life. I look forward to many more years on the air with you. You have always been a role model, a mentor, and the best journalist in this area and beyond. Congratulations, and let's stay on the air for more years to come.
My, Don Alhart. After more than 40 years at WHAM in Rochester, I hear you're being inducted into the New York State Broadcasters Association's Hall of Fame. I'm told not only do you anchor the 6 and 11 every night, but your exceptional contributions to the community are beyond admirable. And according to someone very close to you, above all, you are, I have a direct quote here, humble and simply a great person. So on behalf of all of us here at Good Morning America, I want to thank you for all that you have done for the good people of Rochester. And congratulations, you're a Hall of Famer. It's about time.
Up next, a look at Don's humorous side.
The news is serious business. Usually, 44 years of doing it could take a toll, but Don has kept his perspective by keeping his sense of humor. Don's humor became evident early on. Laughter has helped in some awkward moments. And laughter has created some awkward moments.
16,000-foot mural. Besides the unveiling, the project was officially certified by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest mural in the world.
And it's pretty too. Recap.
We will see some sun, some clouds, and a shower or two tomorrow. The high temperature about 48 degrees.
Thanks, Bill.
Did no Wanda like whales so much? I didn't know. She was impressed.
I rode a whale once, thank you.
We don't have time to explain that.
It is by far, though, Don's unscripted moments that are among the most memorable.
And you might ask her first words as she emerged today. 6 more weeks of winter. No. Seriously.
That was mean of you.
That's all I can think of, Lindsay.
Wow, man, huh? Wow.
Well, here it is, the holiday fruitcake. Some would have you believe that this is the only fruitcake in the world, and we all just keep passing it on. After all, no one actually eats it. Which leads us to Doug Embridge's premise tonight: is the fruitcake getting a bad rap? We'll unwrap that story tonight at 6 and see if there's really as much weight to these as you think. We'll see at night.
Andrew Carnegie wrote, "There is little success where there is little laughter." Well, no truer words could be spoken of Don's 44 successful and fun-filled years here at 13. Thanks for brightening our lives, Don. And when we return, a salute from the mayor and one of Don's close friends.
Not only is he a great broadcaster, he is a great community leader and a public servant. His integrity, his talent, his heart cannot be replaced.
I can't believe you said that.
One of Don Alhart's longtime friends and co-workers was Bill Peterson, 13 Wham's longtime chief meteorologist. They shared a lot of special moments, many of them on the air with our viewers. Bill passed away 4 years ago, but Don remains close to Bill's family. Bill's wife, Jan, has a message of congratulations for the Hall of Famer.
You two always had a good time on air and off. You were great friends.
Wow.
And I know he's smiling down on you. And know that he was very proud of you. And you remember what he last said, that he hoped that he helped you to be a better broadcaster because you helped him out to be a better broadcaster. Take care, Don, and congratulations.
All right, I'm thinking how many stories you've told about the Bolex camera that you shot on early
16 millimeter film, so we've come a long way and a lot of changes over those years.
And here we are now in our brand new set. Of course, everyone's getting used to it, and we're broadcasting in high definition.
Which is a huge adjustment, and to think about going from black and white to high def, what comes to your mind?
I was just thinking to try to sum this all up. From black and white to color TV. See you in the future, and all on HD.